What's up, Astro fam? I want to give a huge shout out to Celestial Clouds. Now, this is a company that crafts smokable herbal blends specifically for your natal alignments, okay? And as you can see here, I got the Libra and Virgo edition. I'm a Libra rising, Virgo moon. However, these are blends that have herbs that correlate with exactly what your sign needs, what your sign placements require. It's amazing. I wouldn't recommend anything that I do not use personally and faithfully. So you guys make sure you go check them out. I'll be sure to put their information in my description box. What's up, Patreon? This is your girl Megan from the HoodAstroQ, and today I'm coming to y'all once more with another celebrity Synastry reading. Now, I've been in my Synastry bag lately, especially after coming off of that Offset and Cardi B Synastry. So I just thought that this was interesting. Okay, as you can see in the title, I will be doing a Synastry of both Ari Fletcher and Moneybagg Yo. Now, these people are just completely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. I just thought this would be fun, okay? Now, these are two individuals who have linked up, okay, romantically. Ari Fletcher is a professional baby mama and Instagram model, okay? And then you have Moneybagg Yo, who is a Memphis-based rapper. Who just celebrated his 29th birthday, by the way. I did not know he was part of the 91 gang, honey, because word in the streets is this nigga don't look a day under 37. He gives me a hard 40, okay? So it was kind of, And I've done a natal chart reading for him in the past, specifically when he was with, quote unquote, Meg the Stallion, to debunk that. So if y'all care to check that video out, go look that up now. It's on my main page, but I digress, okay? The nigga he's not looking his age in the worst possible way. Not a good look. However, okay, a lot of people just have questions about their relationship, and I thought it would be interesting to approach this from an astrological perspective. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it, okay? So Ari Fletcher was born on July 12th, 1995 in Chicago, Illinois, while you have Moneybagg Yo, who was born September 22nd, 1991. Shout out to that 91 gang again, my niggas. All right. And he was born in Memphis, Tennessee. And this is a very interesting synastry. I will say the overview that I kind of took away from this was that they have a lot of good stuff going for them. And I do understand the appeal of the relationship. I do think that they could have a really pleasant relationship in a lot of ways. But ultimately, this is a very karmic relationship that I feel like long term, like in the long run, probably won't work out for the best. Now, allow me to explain. And I will start with the more positive aspects, and then we'll get into the juicier negative aspects, because we all know, to be fair and balanced, all relationships have good and bad. That's just kind of how life and humans work. So Ari Fletcher's Uranus, which is at the 28th degree of Capricorn retrograde, is forming a trine to Moneybagg Yo's Sun at the 28th degree of Virgo, which can produce an effect to where there is a very magnetic relationship or a very magnetic attraction two people can have between one another. They could be really good friends or have like a really good friendship type of thing. You see this when it comes to couples maybe who could have even started off as friends with benefits earlier on. And I also, especially when you consider that Virgo element, think that there's a factor to where Moneybagg Yo, Ari makes Moneybagg Yo feel needed, if that makes sense. And also, you have Ari's Jupiter at the 6th degree of Sagittarius, which is retrograde as well, forming a trine to Moneybagg's Chiron at the 6th degree of Leo. And this could point to where he is also very charming with her. And he could be someone who uses his charm, his flashy nature, his ability to go above and beyond, or even just a large sense of generosity with that Chiron in Leo to really woo her into a piece to her love for luxury and excess. And, this could even deal with where they take fancy trips together, which I think they have. Y'all let me know if I'm mistaken, but this could be a couple to where the Chiron Leo person could take their partner on vacations and excursions across the country to different parts of the world. You could even look at that as like the lavish gifts that they tend to buy one another. This is a very generous, very warm aspect to have in Synastry. You could even look at this as him buying her designer clothes, especially with that 6 influence, right? Both her Jupiter and his Chiron being at that 6th degree. Moneybagg Yo could be a huge catalyst for Ari's growth, her spiritual growth, growth within her own career, and her being able to take on more creative roles and things like that, especially with that number 6 energy as well. This could also deal with where they have a very joking, playful type of relationship, right? Lots of laughs, lots of adventure, lots of excitement. And this could even implicate more or less of a spiritual union or a spiritual type of relationship between the two. And I get the vibe just by looking at some of Moneybagg's natals that he is a kind of man who really enjoys building either families, or he likes investing and helping women, if that makes sense. However, he has a lot of karma tied to women because he's also a Cancer South Node with his South Node at the 15th degree, which breaks down to the number 6. The number 6 also deals with the opposite sex, or, in his case, women, right? But it points to where he has a lot of karmic baggage, a lot of karmic debt in the form of relationships and his ability to really be a family man, which is very ironic considering all of this other energy that I get in his chart that is very congruent with him being somebody who wants to build these things and he wants to have families. But as a Capricorn North Node, that's just not what you're meant. That's not where you're meant to belong in this lifetime. This isn't to say that all Cancer South Nodes could just never have families of their own. But being honest, you're going to encounter the deeper that you try to entrench yourself within that South Node energy, the more issues and the stickier it kind of becomes to manifest those things for yourself. So you can have them, but they're going to come with problems, And so in a person like Moneybagg Yo's case, this could deal with where he tries to, kind of plug himself into these relationships with women. And then something happens, right? It doesn't work out. And quite honestly, it makes a lot of sense given that I think he has a lot of children. He's one of those men with lots of children, and we know a lot of rappers are like that. Lots of children, lots of baby mamas, but a lot of women in the past. And that could be another manifestation of that Cancer energy too. That Cancer South Node thing. When you're talking Cancer South Node men, there's always going to be other women in the past that are waiting in the wing, or women that are returning from the past. There's always unfinished business involving women in their lives, be it the mother, be it from a romantic standpoint. Cancer South Node men have a difficult time really being family men, ironically enough, although they could spend a lot of their time really wanting to connect and align with feminine energy. It's just a disconnect, and these are men who can have lots of issues with women. They could be womanizers too, hence offset. But this point is even more catastrophic because I didn't anticipate on jumping into the more negative parts of their synastry, but it's fitting. Ari's sun is conjunct Moneybagg Yo's South Node, and this was the biggest configuration that was that just stood out to me in terms of this being a relationship where ultimately, despite some of the better intentions, this is, number one, as I stated before, a very karmic based or karmic induced relationship. And in synastry, a person's sun conjunct another person's South Node relationships are very complicated. and they seldom ever really work out when it comes to long term. So in Moneybagg and Ari's case, this could deal with where his relationship with Ari could trigger a lot of fated circumstances, involving, once again, the women in his life, his family, but even involving emotions. This could make Ari someone who is a very, very emotional person herself. And it doesn't help that she has a Cancer stellium. I think she's a Cancer Venus as well. And this could deal with where she could be just overbearing, really, clingy, codependent. Ultimately, she could be somebody who's very smothering, engulfing. The relationship can take a turn towards being very suffocating and just emotionally suffocating, right? Which is, once again, very counterintuitive to what a person like Moneybagg Yo as the Capricorn North Node is supposed to experience in this lifetime. This could resort to emotional manipulation, all kinds of things. Like, I can even get the vibe that Ari's the type of woman to bring up things from the past constantly, right? So she could also be someone who could kind of stunt his evolution in that regard, right? Never letting him move on past certain things. These are people who could have very wild imaginations. So the type of woman where, if Moneybagg Yo doesn't call her constantly, if he misses a FaceTime, if he misses a this or that, what you doing? I know you cheating. I know you out with that bitch. I know it's got to be another bitch somewhere in the wing. What's up with that bitch? And just it can just create this very, it can get very toxic really quickly. And Ari is definitely, she strikes me as the more dark-sided Cancer woman. And these are women who can be hysterical, emotionally hysterical women, which can lead to abuse. It can lead to a very toxic relationship. And that's so interesting given her whole past with G Herbo, but that's a different story, different video for a completely different day. And with her Sun conjunct Moneybagg's South Node, it's an attraction that is very deeply rooted. Like I said, straight up karmic, to the point where they could have been family members in past lives, right? There is a innate attraction that draws two people together when you're talking about a South Node relationship, where each person feels like I've known this person all my life, right? Especially with that Cancer element, it could be very comforting, very familiar. I know you before. I've known you before in the past, kind of thing. And these are people who can't stay away from one another. However, as I stated, over time, the person's Sun, right, could trigger a lot of these issues that can make the South Node individual's life a lot more complicated. Her Sun conjunct his South Node could even deal directly with the fact that there could potentially be a lot of women that she has to kind of battle with, or where she can even just be someone who's paranoid in general about other women. I also get the vibes that Moneybagg Yo has a history of dealing with emotionally unstable and or very codependent relationships with women. So this is just a huge, a huge aspect, like in a bad omen, if you ask me, to have in natal chart. So if I highly doubt Ari or Moneybagg Yo are into astrology, but had I got a couple that came to me like this, I would have to lead the conversation with this aspect. Like, this could be a huge deal breaker in terms of creating long-term, just longevity with a partner. Ari's Venus in Cancer is also opposing Moneybagg's Uranus, which could even deal with him not even being as emotionally available as she'd like, or where especially with her, that South Node relationship they have, her Cancer Sun on his Cancer South Node, this aspect kind of supports that in terms of her clinking down, clambering down, being even more suffocating, more just emotionally needy, you know what I'm saying? And him in turn pulling away with that Uranus influence, right? Or him just kind of closing himself off to her. And it could even deal with where there could be an imbalance in the relationship, to where they're always trying to find a way to get on the same page. There could even be a power imbalance as well. This could also point towards sudden separations and betrayal, more so on Moneybagg Yo's part. I could even see where maybe even if he had friends or associates who knew her or who know her as well, where there could be some odds in that regard. Maybe he's going to have to be in a situation where he feels like he's put in the middle, where maybe his friends and his professional associates don't too much care for Ari. Now, I will say Ari's Mars is conjunct Moneybagg Yo's sun, that Virgo sun, which once again reinforces or echoes my earlier sentiments in her being someone who does a really good job with making him feel needed, but it's almost too needy. This could also be a very strong sexual connection too, because it could deal with where she sexually pleases him regularly, that type of thing, right? Which is always good. That's always good. Ari's Saturn and Pisces is opposed to Moneybagg Yo's sun, which could deal with her eventually even being a burden to him, where the relationship could have at once or initially represented a fantasy. But over time, he learns he has to make a lot of sacrifices in order to be with her, which could lead him to feeling stuck, like a prisoner within the relationship. I also think that Moneybagg Yo provides a certain level of stability to Ari's emotions, or at least a very healing anchor kind of thing, because his Pluto, right, which is at the 18th degree of Scorpio, is forming a trine to her sun, okay, her Cancer sun. That could even deal with where when she's with him, he makes her feel like a woman. Like he makes her feel like she can really embrace and embody that divine feminine expression. However, I also see infidelity eventually being an issue as well, because Ari Fletcher's Jupiter is squaring Moneybagg's Pisces moon, right? So with Ari's Jupiter at the 6th degree of Sagittarius squaring Moneybagg Yo's moon, right, in Pisces, this could deal with where there could be women elsewhere, or where there could be some chaos and some confusion and some secrets revealed or exposed concerning women. This could even deal with her feeling like she has to drag a lot of information out from him. So he might be someone who tells her certain things on a need to know basis up front. And then as time goes on and on and on, she has to kind of like pull the truth out of him. This square could also point to where Ari really drains Moneybagg of his like generosity, where she could be very demanding, almost too demanding, and where he's a naturally charitable person, or someone who is just naturally kind of willing to, even with that Pisces moon, like treat his woman like a princess, or pamper and spoil. That's even a very Pisces moon word for a lot of Pisces men, like spoil his woman. She could just take it over the top. This could also even point to where there could be issues in regards to distance. So like, I don't know if they have a long distance relationship, but that could also be a major hurdle in just moving that situation forward. Living arrangements, trying to figure out and get on the same page when it comes to their living arrangement. And with his Libra Mars squaring her Capricorn moon, once again, I just really do think that there could be issues in terms of like women from the past that he's going to have to face within that relationship. And I don't like Mars squaring the moon when I'm looking at Synastry charts either, just because it could point towards the Mars individual being very insensitive towards the moon individual and their needs. So taking this back to Moneybagg Yo and that Mars and Libra squaring Ari Fletcher's Capricorn moon, it could deal with where at a certain point within the relationship, she may very well have to either G-check him or have a real conversation with herself. Like, I feel like his little playboy ways are really got me like questioning my own self-respect. I also too much don't care for the Mars square moon aspect in Synastry, because it can make the Mars partner very insensitive when it comes to the moon individuals and their wants and their needs, which is a topic I will be covering in another video for my top tier Patreon members. But I digress. Okay. So in Moneybagg in Ari's case, this could deal with where, okay, his Libra Mars squaring her Capricorn moon could lead to Ari feeling maybe ambushed at times, or maybe even made to feel like controlled, but in a more passive aggressive type of way. I also noticed that, Moneybagg Yo's Neptune is conjunct to Ari's moon, that Capricorn moon, which could also denote a certain level of deception within the relationship as well. Now, because conjunctions can yield both positive and negative outcomes, this can obviously deal with where this could be a working relationship that could be beneficial to both of them, where this could just be like a really good look for their image and that kind of thing. But it also kind of gives me the vibes that like Moneybagg Yo is very intentionally deceptive, you know what I mean? Or Ari could be projecting a lot of her romantic ideals onto him. Because even when you look at his chart separately, right, I just get the vibes that he could definitely be a ladies' man as well. And issues with women are ultimately going to be one of the biggest obstacles to overcome. That in tandem, once again, with, just that whole South Node conjunction and everything that comes with that from Ari's end. And Ari is one of the worst type of people to cheat on. If you're going to cheat on somebody or get caught up in a situation with a person, let it not be a Cancer woman or a woman with very prominent Cancer and or Scorpio placements, because they don't forget shit. They won't let you forget shit. Maybe the Scorpio will stop bringing it up and just, start bubbling over with resentment. But that Cancer bitch will let you know every 5 minutes. And will be that helicopter girlfriend that you came home, let me smell your dick type of chick. Let me make sure you ain't been out messing with other females. I'm just exhausted explaining it, but that sums up the synastry for these two. Y'all drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the relationship. And make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And until the next video, I holla.